Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And yes, there's a cat in my lap. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, on to the video. So we're going to be looking at this film, which is Bee Movie by DreamWorks. So this is kind of interesting. This is not educational at all. It's a family movie. It's very funny. It's the type of film where, yes, it's for kids, but it's also kind of like Shrek and Monsters, Inc., where there are jokes that are going to go over kids' heads and they're not just not going to notice them. So it also has a really big star-studded cast here. So I'm going to look at IMDb. So it did come out in 2007. It is PG. It's an hour and a half long. And it stars Jerry Seinfeld, Renée Zellweger, Matthew Broderick, Patrick Warburton, who I actually don't know who is, John Goodman, Chris Rock, who plays a mosquito, Kathy Bates, Barry Livingston, Larry King, Ray Liotta, who has died recently, playing, oddly enough, himself, Oprah Winfrey, of all creatures. I have issues with Winfrey. Sting, playing Sting. Larry Miller, Megan Mullany, probably mispronouncing her name, she's from Will and Grace, and a couple other people, Rip Torn, who I won't recognize, well, from what, I'm not sure, I think it's Men in Black, and a few other people. Again, this has a pretty star-studded cast, voice cast. Again, this is animation. So the basis of this is Seinfeld's character is a bee, a male bee. He's graduating. He's going to go into work in honey. Basically, he's going to go work for the factory. He's finishing school and he's going to go work for the factory. And he realized he doesn't want to have the same job for the rest of his life, which is essentially what they tell him. It's like, you get to pick the job and you're in it for the rest of your life until you die. And it's kind of interesting. So he ends up leaving the hive and discovering that human beings consume honey. And he finds Ray Liotta's, who's is human. Everything is animated here, so you have an animated Ray Liotta in this, who's being voiced by the same now late actor. So that there, of course, he finds basically a bee farm. So where you have, and essentially they're viewed as, because they're not wild bees, that they're imprisoned and they've been coaxed here, and they're frequently being smoked out, and they don't do, basically they're doing all the work and they're not getting any of the honey. Which notably, bees give honey to their larvae, and reality here, peeking in, male bees exist pretty much to mate and then they die. Again, this is cartoon, so it's not real whatsoever. Moving on to the next part. So he sues. He sues in human court that, and just basically try to get possession of the honey and stop the New York City from doing honey. Now, in the process of this, he meets a florist who ends up breaking up with her boyfriend because he's a dick through this. That's Renée Zellweger's character. She's a florist. She's in love with flowers. That's the reason she likes bees. But they go to court. They have a whole huge courtroom drama, which they win. And you would think that's the end of the movie. No, it's not. Basically, they get all the honey. But because the bees are no longer working, because they don't need to make honey anymore, somehow they don't need to eat. But again, all the flowers die, which again is slightly unrealistic because all flowers are not just monitored by honey, but are pollinated by honey, but all the flowers die. And he upsets everybody. He upsets his friend, who's the florist, because her store is shut because, again, no flowers. So he has to realize they have to go back to work and pollinate flowers. And that's what they do. And he becomes a partner in the florist shop. And it's interesting. It's a fun family film with bees. And a lot of adult jokes and a lot of Jewish jokes because Seinfeld. And I believe it's produced or directed by, let's see. No, it's not directed. I swear that Spielberg has a hand in this. Directors are Simon J. Smith and Stephen Hecker. And of course, Seinfeld helped write it, as well as two other tires. And of course, it stars Seinfeld. So it's interesting and it's fun and it's light and yeah, it's a low rating. It's PG because there's mild suggestive humor and brief depiction of smoking. So it's interesting. I found it entertaining, but of course, I have a kid who's not ready for this. She's 3. She can't sit through films right now, so I had to skim through this, and I've had it out for like 3 months from my public library, and it's due, so I had to get through this quickly. But it is funny. It is entertaining. The animation is good. It does give the point that we need bees to pollinate flowers, and that we should respect the bees. But otherwise, it's just funny. And again, it's a family film where you have the adult humor that's going to go over the kids' heads, and yet they're enjoying watching a film about bees in court, which is, funny. It is. It's very entertaining because they're still the size of bees, and they're in a human courtroom, supposedly being able to communicate with humans. So yes, and you have Larry King, who's playing the bee Larry King, which is hilarious. And it's just, it's very, very funny. And it's a good family film for the homeschoolers. If you're sick, even your teenagers are going to get a kick out of this. So you have kids of a wide variety of ages, throw this on, it'll entertain them for an hour and a half. So it's fun. If you're doing a bee unit study, it's still funny. It's something fun to put on, and you could talk about how, yes, this is extremely unrealistic, but bees are needed to pollinate things, and it is kind of funny. So, but again, it's one of those films you put on for family, and it's fun, and it's entertaining. And it has a message of nature, and you need to respect nature. But that's pretty much the closest things. Again, male bees mate and die. That's essentially it. So they mate and die. That is their entire purpose in life, is to mate and then proceed to die. And though I think, besides mating, I think they do protect the hive. So they don't actually leave the hive. The women do all the work. So there are not as many female bees in here as there should be. So, not to mention, the honey is designed to feed the larvae, and it's bee spit. So, honey is made out of bee spit. It's bee spit. It's pure sugar. So, it's just antibacterial. I do enjoy honey. But again, this is back to the film. It's fun. It's funny. It's a great family movie. I mean, it's DreamWorks, which, yes, Disney. It's just under their DreamWorks label. It's just more Disney, which means it's very similar to various other Pixar films, and that's what it's modeled after. So that's the end of this video. Again, it's an hour and a half long. It's entertaining, and I skimmed through it because I needed to go back to the library. I've had it out for 3 months, but, broken leg and 3-year-old who is exhausting. Has the intensity of the yawning. 3-year-olds, as they get older, they're just exhausting. I love my daughter, but she's exhausting. So that is really it for this video. I do enjoy this film. I highly recommend it. Again, it's a whole family film. So again, I'd watch it with my daughter, but she's 3. She's not going to sit through something like this. She's not really watching things that much. So great for B units if you just want to put on something funny. I have another video that will be dealing with more bees, which is more realistic. So we'll get to that. I have to finish watching that. It's actually very interesting. That is My Garden of 1,000 Bees. And I will get to that. So I don't know if that's before this or after this, but it's there. It exists. It should be up if it's not already. So if you like the channel, like and subscribe. I do movies like this. I do the nonfiction stuff. I do lots and lots of books. This is being filmed in 2022. This is September of 2022. End of September, oddly enough. This is coming out May, March. I can't remember. Maybe April. It's coming out in the spring of 2023, which is when you're going to see this. I have a lot going on, lots of series going on this year. I have The Princess Diaries, which should already be out. I'm finishing up not finishing up Tamora Pierce. I'm far from done with Tamora Pierce, but I have the Song of the Lioness Quartet and the Immortals Quartet, which are out 2023. If they're not out already, they are coming. The Guardians of Ga'Hoole is coming out this year. I'm doing another Meg Cabot series, which I actually haven't gotten to yet as of this filming. The rest of the stuff I'm talking about is pretty much done. So they are coming, along with a bunch of other stuff. If you are a fan of book series and like Tamora Pierce, I do, besides those 2 series I just mentioned, I have the Circle of Magic and Circle Opens, as well as The Will of the Empress. Those I did for 2022, I think early, maybe 2021. I don't remember when I did those. They're out already. There's some of my earlier work. So again, like and subscribe. Check out what I've got besides the book reviews, the film reviews. I do some education stuff. Again, my kid's 3, so we have some board games and some travel stuff. I'll be adding and more entertaining stuff. I add those on Wednesdays. My book reviews come out Monday. This is a film review. It comes out Friday. That's the schedule. So no matter what, you have at least 2 videos, if not more, every week. So again, like and subscribe. Thank you.